What is the term for physical features like mountains, plains, and plateaus? The answer is relief features. According to the geological background, world landforms originated from which two giant lands? Angara land, that is Laurasia, and Gondwana land. The Indian peninsula was originally part of which ancient supercontinent? The answer is Gondwana land. How are the Himalayas formed? Through a folding process caused by the coalition of the Indian plate with the Eurasian plate is caused for the formation of Himalayas. How was the large basin that became the northern plains of India formed? It was formed by the breaking up from the northern corners of the Peninsular Plateau. The extensive flat northern plains of India were created by sediments deposited by which two types of rivers? Himalayan rivers from the north and peninsular rivers from the south. What are the six major relief divisions of Indian landmass? The six are number one, Himalayas, number two, Indo-Gangetic Plain, number three, the Peninsular Plateau, number four, the coastal plains, five, the desert, number six, the islands. The Himalayan ranges run in a west-east direction for a distance of about dash kilometers, 2,400 kilometers. What is the northernmost and most continuous range of the Himalayas called? The northernmost range is Greater Himalayas, are also called as Himadri. What is the average elevation of Greater Himalayas or Himadri? The average elevation of Himadri 6,100 meters above mean sea level. The movement and melting of glaciers in the Das are the sources for perennial rivers. Greater Himalayas. What is the mountain range that runs parallel between the Shivaliks and the Greater Himalayas called the Middle Himalayas or Himachal or Lower Himalayas? What is the elevation range of the Middle Himalayas? It varies from 3,500 to 4,500 meters above sea level. Which range in the Kashmir region is the longest and most important in Middle Himalayas? The Pir Panjal range. The famous valley of Kashmir lies between which two mountain ranges? The Pir Panjal range and the Jaskar range. Hill stations like Simla, Mussoorie, and Nainital are located in which Himalayan range? The Middle Himalayan range. What is the outermost range of the Himalayas, also known as the Outer Himalayas? The Shivalik range. What is the altitude variation of the Shivalik range? It varies from 600 to 1500 meters. The plain left behind after lakes drained through the Shivalik ranges are called dash in the west and dash in the east, dunes and dauras. Dehradun is the best example of which type of plain formed in the valley of the Shivaliks. It is dune. What is the name for the Himalayan divisions that run through the northeastern states of India? Purvanchal. The Purvanchal hills are mostly composed of what type of rocks? Sedimentary sandstones. Patkai Hills, Naga Hills, and Mijo Hills are regional names for which mountain range? The Purvanchal. How do the Himalayas influence India's climate during winter? They act as barriers protecting the Great Plains from the cold winds of Central Asia. The Great Northern Plains, Indo-Gangetic Plains, were formed by the interaction of which three Himalayan rivers and their tributaries? The Indus, Ganga, and Brahmaputra. The western part of the Indo-Gangetic Plain was formed by which river and its tributaries? The Indus River. What is the dominant pH of the fertile land in the western part of the Indo-Gangetic Plain? The Doab, land between two rivers, is called as a Doab. The central part of the Indo-Gangetic Plain, extending from the Gaggar to Tista rivers, is known as the Ganga Plain. The eastern part of the Indo-Gangetic Plain exists mostly in the Brahmaputra Valley of which state? Assam state. What is the Bhabar? A narrow belt and gravel and pebble sediments deposited by Himalayan rivers parallel to the foothills of the Shivaliks. What is the Terai region? A swampy and marshy region formed where underground streams were from Bhabar reappear. The Indian plateau is known as the Dash because it is surrounded by the sea on three sides, Peninsular Plateau. The Peninsular Plateau is composed of what kind of rocks? Old, crystalline, hard igneous, and metamorphic rocks. What are the two broad divisions of the Peninsular Plateau? The Central Highlands, Malwa Plateau, and the Deccan Plateau. The Central Highlands are bordered by which mountain range? The Vindhya mountain ranges. The triangular landmass lying to the south of the Narmada River is called the Deccan Plateau. Which mountain range forms the northern edge of the Deccan Plateau? The Satpura range. Which mountain ranges form the western and eastern edges of the Deccan Plateau? The Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. Which of the Ghats, western or eastern, are higher and more continuous? The answer is Western Ghats. The famous hill station, Udagamandalam, popularly known as Ooty, is located in which hills? Nilagiri. the Nilagiri Hills. What is the highest peak in the Nilagiri Hills? Dodabetta. Its height 2637 meters. What is the highest peak in South India? Anaimudi. Its height is 2695 meters. It is located in Kerala. Are the Eastern Ghats continuous or discontinuous? Eastern Ghats have some breaks. They are discontinuous, broken by rivers like Godavari and Krishna. What is the highest peak in the Eastern Ghats? Aramakanda. It is also called as Mahendragiri or Ayomakanda. Its height is 1680 meters. It is located at Chintapalli Forest of Andhra Pradesh. The black soils found in the Peninsular Plateau were formed due to volcanic activity. The Thar Desert is located on the leeward side of which mountain ranges? Aravalli Mountains. What is the only river found in the Thar Desert? Luni River. The Luni River. Which canal, the longest in India, water spot of the Thar Desert? Indira Gandhi Canal. The Indira Gandhi Canal. The northern part of the western coastal plain covering Maharashtra and Goa is called the Konkan coast. The middle part of the western coastal plain in Karnataka is known as Canara coast. The southern part of the western coastal plain, mostly in Kerala, is called the Malabar coast. The coastal plain in Odisha is known as locally as the Utkal coast. The coastal plain in Andhra Pradesh is known as the Sarkar coast. The coastal plain in Tamil Nadu is known as Coromandel coast. Chilaka Lake is located on which coastal plains? Eastern coastal plains, and it is comes under Utkal, Odisha. What is the geological origin of the Andaman Nicobar Islands? They are an elevated portion of submerged mountains, Arkanyoma Mountains. Narkandam and barren islands in the Andaman and Nicobar group are the volcanic origin. Answer is volcanic. India's southernmost tip, which was submerged during the 2004 tsunami, is called Indira Point. It is located in Great Nicobar Islands. What is the geological origin of the Lakshadweep Islands? They are coral islands. What is the India's standard meridian longitude, which is used to determine India's standard time? 82.5 degrees east line. 82 degrees 30 knots east longitude is called as India's standard timeline. Indian Standard Time IST is how many hours ahead of Greenwich Mean Time? 5.5 hours. What is the north-south extent of mainland India in kilometers? 3,214 kilometers. What is the east-west extent of mainland India in kilometers? 2,933 kilometers. The southernmost latitude of the Indian mainland is 8 degrees 4 knots north latitude. The northernmost latitude of India is 37 degrees 6 knots north latitude. The westernmost longitude of India is 68 degrees 7 knots east longitude. The eastern longitude of India is 97 degrees 25 knots east longitude. The Chota Nagpur Plateau, located in the Central Highlands, is particularly rich in what resources? Mineral resources.